Zadok, the forgotten hero who stood when others fell. Why no one talks about him? Have you ever heard of a man who stood when kings crumbled, who remained loyal when priests betrayed, and whose legacy silently shaped the course of God's people? His name is Zadok, a name many glance over in Scripture, yet his loyalty shook the heavens and earned him a blessing that would echo for generations. But who really was Zadok? Why was he so important to God, and why have we forgotten him? Zadok was no ordinary priest. He emerged during a time of chaos, betrayal, and war. When the priesthood was corrupted, when alliances shifted with the winds, Zadok stood like a rock. When others bowed to power and prestige, Zadok chose purity and purpose. When Absalom rose against his father, King David, many flocked to the rebels' side. But Zadok, he carried the Ark of the Covenant and stood by the king who was chosen by God, even when it meant risking his life. Can you imagine that kind of loyalty today? Would you stand firm if everyone else walked away? In 1 Kings 1, as the kingdom teetered between Solomon and Adonijah, Zadok again stood for truth. While other priests like Abiathar betrayed David, Zadok anointed Solomon as king in full obedience to God's will. That moment wasn't just political, it was prophetic. Zadok's line was chosen by God himself to serve as high priests forever. In Ezekiel 44:15, Jehovah declares that the sons of Zadok, who remained loyal when others went astray, would minister to him in his sanctuary. Imagine that, God rewarding not just a man but his bloodline for unwavering loyalty. Why don't we talk about men like Zadok anymore? Is it because loyalty without applause is no longer seen as valuable? What would your legacy be if your loyalty to God was written into eternity? Zadok may not have written a psalm, may not have fought like David, but he lived with integrity, courage, and faithfulness. And for that, heaven noticed. Have you ever felt like you were standing alone for what's right? Tell us in the comments. Let us honor forgotten heroes like Zadok, men and women who remind us that loyalty to God is never in vain. Zadok's courage was not loud, it was faithful. But what if I told you there was a woman whose actions saved an entire nation, and yet you've probably never heard her name? Next episode. Teaser. She protected a whole city with nothing but her wisdom. If this touched your heart, don't scroll away. Like, comment, loyalty, and share this video with someone who needs to be reminded that God still sees loyalty. And don't forget to subscribe for more forgotten but powerful Bible heroes that will reignite your faith.